what's up everybody, I'm Reckless and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing an ASVAB tips and tricks video for whoever's taking the ASVAB soon. I actually got requested this video in my comments below today and decided to film a video, and I will also be putting out my week 5 of BMT this week as well. So before I get into tips and tricks, I'm going to tell you what I did personally for the ASVAB, and then I'll go into some tips and tricks. So personally, what I did for the ASVAB, what I did is I got one of those ASVAB books. I took mine in 2022, so I got an ASVAB 2022-2023 book, so now it should be 23-24, and in those books it actually has practice tests that you can take. So I took those, and any subject that I wasn't confident on, I would go through the subject matter and write down notes. Obviously I wouldn't write down notes on everything, but a lot of stuff like I had to brush up on from high school, like math concepts and science stuff that I didn't take in high school. So any subject you're not confident on, make sure you read into those a little bit more and kind of get your feet wet with them, just so you know, hey, if I see this, this is what I have to do. Now any subject you are comfortable in, don't even bother with it. So like for me, it was assembling objects. Didn't even look into it. I got every one of those questions right all the time because my brain just works that way. It's very visual, not verbal. So if you're really good at a concept, don't focus on it too much, because chances are you'll be fine in the ASVAB. In the end, the ASVAB's not a hard concept. It doesn't have hard concepts in them. Sometimes it can just be confusing, the way that they word it, or just sometimes the context gets a little mixed up. So make sure you always read the question so you know exactly what you're trying to do and you don't end up doing the wrong thing. So now it's time to get into some tips and tricks. So my first tip and trick, or I guess tip, would be, like I said, read each question carefully. If you're one of those people that takes 3-4 times to read it before you understand it, that's okay. Make sure you understand that question, because in the end, this is your job. So you want to focus on the criteria that you know you need to focus on. So if it takes you a couple minutes extra just to reread a question, that's okay. Just make sure you can make up for it in other parts of the test. Another tip that I have is anything you know that is going to be wrong in that multiple choice, make sure you eliminate that, because you don't want to end up getting yourself confused. So anything that is obviously wrong, eliminate it. Or for like math questions, if you kind of can already tell it's not going to be right, just cross it out. And especially if it's math, because I am not a math girly. I hate math. I do not do well in math. I had to use so much scratch paper just so I could figure out long division. So if that's something you have to do, that's okay. But make sure you use the resources available to you and you're not struggling. Just use the resources that are available. Or if you don't understand a question, ask for help. You never know. They may be able to explain it to you in a way that makes sense. So another tip I have is don't cram the night before. So obviously take your time to study weeks before the test. I think I started studying like 2 months before my test because I really wanted to get the job I wanted, even though I didn't get the job I wanted. But that's Air Force. So fortunately you pick 10 jobs and you get one of those 10. So yeah. But you really do want to do well, because that can also open up opportunities for you later on. So make sure you don't cram the night before. Obviously you want to study the night before, but don't cram. You don't want to learn all the information at one night. So just make sure you brush up on some of the concepts that you're not too familiar with. Get them fresh in your brain again. And that can help you a lot. Like for me, mine was mechanics. I still didn't do well in mechanics, but I did brush up on it just so I didn't fail it completely. So like I said before, make sure you take the practice test. You can find a plethora online. If I can find the websites that I personally use, I will link them down below. If not, there are plenty of free ASVAB tests out there. And I know there's one that was free like your first couple times that you take the practice test, and those were like really in-depth tests. Really in-depth tests, and that helped me a lot. So make sure you do your practice tests, because those can actually help you, because they give you an idea of what questions